welcome back or welcome to the Sweddle Farm channel where everything is swell. I'm Amelia. Today I will be showing you how I dry flowers. So there's dried flowers in a couple of our bars. This one is the butterfly flower. We bought this one. Same with the dried lavender and then dried rose petals and then dried Canadula leaves, but for a couple of summers and springs now, I've been drying my own flowers. So we're gonna show that process. I'm gonna plug this in so there's more light. So I'm just gonna show that really quick of how I dry my own flowers. We haven't used any of our dried flowers in it. We've just used pre-made ones. But I want to start drying them so we can use our own. I don't know every single name of all of them, but I know a few names, so I will say the ones I do know the names of. But let me go. Oh, never mind, it's right here. Okay, so what I do for this process is you need scissors. I just used some old kitchen scissors. These are wildflowers, by the way, grown on our property. We have a whole bouquet, and I will show you. Big books, big heavy-duty books. It literally says "Big Book" on the front of it. Preferably, a book you really don't care about ruining, or you get a specific book at like a thrift store, like an old history textbook or an old textbook in general, that you don't really care about, and you use that because sometimes the flower's color will go through. I tried to dry blackberries in a book one time because we have wild blackberries. It stained the book. I regret that. So now I am just using books just in case. I don't care. There's other videos of people just putting them in the microwave, with 20 different times. I'm not gonna do that. This does take a couple weeks to dry out, but I don't mind. You'll also need paper towels, and that's really all. Okay, so we're gonna open up to a page. This one I'm going to choose. Then we're going to get one paper towel, place it on the page, and then we'll scoot that over here for a minute. Okay, we're going to pick a flower. So this one is one of our wild daisies we have. I'm just going to cut the head off. The stem can go just right outside, throw it right outside, or you can compost it, or you can just throw it in the trash, whatever you want. And then we just put it face down in the book. Just like that. I don't know if you can see that. Just kind of like that. But just like that. And then we're going to do that with a couple others. So that's our wild daisies. I keep my flowers. I picked these yesterday, so I kept them in a cup of water because I was planning on filming a video. But you don't want to keep them in a cup of water for too long. This one is a black-eyed Susan. I had two, but my cat snuck in here and knocked our flowers over. Gladly it didn't break anything or ruin anything, but I had two and he stole one. So, black-eyed Susan, right in there. Throw the stem. Purple clover. There are tons of other small flowers on my property, like the small hot pink ones. But I've tried to dry them before, and they just are too small for me, personally. But then you see these, and you're like, what the heck, too small? And then you have those. Yes. So these are different, because the head is right there, technically. Then I cut off any parts I don't like. Just kind of get rid of them. And then we got that. I don't know what these are called. I used to, but then I forgot. And these, I'm not going to lay face down because that's too tall, so I'm just going to lay it like that. And then we have more to do. Oh, that daisy is bad. I'm not going to use that one. but this takes a while, but that's a-okay. Just gonna kind of basically cut them off. That's a dirty daisy, not gonna use that one. That one's pretty good though, I like that one. That one's pretty nice. Cut the head off. Behead it. Then face down. Pretty nice though. It does take a bit, like I said, but you get dried flowers in the end and they look really pretty most of the time. But I've dried 4-leaf clovers, I dried leaves, I've done flowers, I've done not wildflowers, like we have some lilies that we got from a neighbor. Yeah. Oh, that's a bad one. We don't want to keep that one. That one. This one's pretty good, I would say. That one too, and then that one. So these 3 are good. But people also use dehydrators, like they do the same process, but then they put it in a dehydrator, which that's fine too. It's just we don't have a dehydrator. Our neighbor does though, and we will use it eventually, just like currently. We're just gonna do this process though. Okay, this one, milkweed, is pretty difficult to do because there's so many tiny ones, but like you just kind of like cut off a little bit and then you place it in there. Okay, so we're going to cut that off. And then, but all of these are pretty good looking. Kind of want to trim it up and make it look pretty. But it'll look like that kind of, then milkweed again. Then kind of cut all of those off. But that's one page done, pretty full. So we're gonna grab a second paper towel, place that over the top, and then close it. And then flip to a different page. Get another paper towel out. Place that right there. And then, yeah. Some of them you can just pick off, kind of. But every once in a while, you want to use scissors. But, yeah, that's basically the whole process. And then you do it, that same thing. You can position it however you want. Just remember, it'll dry in that position. Just so you remember. But that's it, basically. I have a couple more, but that's going to be a pretty long process. But, yeah, have fun. And if you have wildflowers on your property, or you know someone who does, try it out if you want to try. And it does take a while. I do check on it every day. Except for so I'll put it in here and then I'll not check on it tomorrow or the day after that. But the third day I'll check it just to see how well they're doing, how quickly they're drying. Because it really depends on when you pick them and how long you keep them in water is if they dry or not. But I would not, if you pick them one day and then you're like, well, I kind of don't want to do this right now, I'll do it maybe tomorrow, I would recommend putting in a cup so they don't die overnight. But yeah, that's it. Big farewell from Soil Farm. See you next time.